On this episode of the podcast, we sit down with Dan Tagliamonte, founder of Sea Culture brand and Skinny Atlas. Dan shares a story behind building a premium apparel brand from the ground up, the challenges of entrepreneurship, and the countless details that go into creating products people genuinely connect with. From brand building and craftsmanship to leadership and staying true to your vision, this conversation is packed with valuable insight for business owners, creators, and anyone chasing something bigger. A great conversation about purpose, persistence, and what it really takes to build a brand. Hope you enjoy it. So, what's the temperature of Skinny Atlas Lake right now? 63 degrees?
I bet it's like 20. I bet
It's
it's
been pretty
really
warm.
cold. Yeah, I don't think the lake gets warm.
Till July, for sure.
I mean, till
Mid-July.
August, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to have my boat on the lake, and I'd jump in like July. I'm like, holy shit, it's freezing still.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Still like a polar plunge.
Yeah.
But I'm sure things are picking up in Skinny Atlas with the weather turning, right?
Yeah, it's been usually like Memorial Day is when it starts to like blow up.
They do
So
like
it's
a
been
parade or
crazy.
anything through the village there?
They should have. They do one at like 9 o'clock in the morning on Memorial Day, and they'll do
Okay.
like one. It's like down the strip, and then that's it. It's like the smallest parade.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I mean, not that they need a parade to get a bunch of people there. I
Mm-mm.
feel like any given warm day, there's
Right.
people walking around. And Sea Culture brand's right
Oh,
by.
we're getting into it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's right by the bakery, right?
Yeah, right next to the bakery, right across from Doug's Fish Fry. It's usually how I tell everyone.
Okay.
So if someone's like not really familiar with the town, I usually say it's right across from Doug's Fish Fry.
Well, Doug's been there for what, 100 years?
Forever. Yeah, I think that's like the longest business there.
Oh, really?
It's got to be. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a good marker. But when did you guys open? 2018?
We opened 2018 in December or Black Friday of 2018. So going right into 2019. And then I want to say the pandemic.
Yeah, I was gonna say tough timing.
When did the pandemic hit? I don't even remember.
Oh no, that was 2020. So you had a year.
So we had about a year.
Yeah.
And then like it was really good for the first year. And then obviously everyone had to close and we had to navigate through that. We were lucky though. We were small. So like we could navigate through stuff faster than bigger companies, you know?
Did you have an online presence already or not really?
Yeah.
You
But
did.
wholesale for the business actually grew during that time. And then we scaled wholesale back and now we're doing online mostly. So we're doing more direct to consumer.
Okay.
Everything's direct to consumer now.
So what do you mean wholesale? Who are you selling to?
So we were wholesaling to specialty boutiques up and down like the East Coast in California too. So we had a handful of stores carrying the line, and then we scaled that back and then went to just direct to consumer now.
How'd you get in with these boutiques in California?
I would look at the clothing brands that we wanted to like sit next to or compete with, and I would go on their tagged posts. Like back in the day, Instagram, you could look at, I think you still can, but like people would tag all these brands.
Yeah.
So like
yeah,
these
for
specialty
sure.
stores would tag all these brands, and I would end up following the stores because sometimes these brands would put on their website like who are their stockists or who carries them, but it's more accurate when you go on Instagram. So I would go on like the back end of Instagram where like they would have all their posts tagged, and I would follow these accounts and start messaging them and seeing if they'd buy us wholesale. So I
You
just was like grinding.
Send them samples or just say, check out what we have?
I would send the ones that we got. So the accounts that we got, I would handwrite notes and mail them to the accounts. So like I did that for a lot of them, and that's how we got most of the accounts through that.
What's your conversion rate with that? Or what was your
Every
conversion
time I wrote a handwritten note, I would get an
worked.
order. Yeah.
Wow. 100%.
Because like people don't do that anymore. I mean, we don't do
No.
wholesale anymore. It's a different game, but
Not at all.
no. I mean, we'll do it for certain accounts. Like it's got to fit us, but we're not actively searching for wholesale accounts right now.
Which means people are probably reaching out then.
Yeah.
Tends to happen that way,
It's
right?
starting to be good now. Like it's
Yeah.
starting to be like back in the day, I was like, there's going to be a point where someone's going to start asking, or their stores are going to start asking us to carry them instead of me just trying to like drive it. And it's like starting to happen now, which is really cool.
That's a cool turning
Yeah.
point. But go even before,
Sure.
talk about the beginnings, the idea, you're a little bit about your background, just how you got to the point of starting the store or the brand,
Um,
I should say, not even the
yeah.
store.
So I started the business in 2017 or 18, like around that time, like the end of 2017. Um, Played junior hockey for a really long time, and I wanted to go play college hockey, and it just didn't work out.
Did you grow up
And
in Manlius?
I grew up in Janesville, yeah,
Janesville. Okay.
yeah. So like Syracuse area, like suburbs of Syracuse, and um, played junior hockey. Really liked clothes, and my friend one year was like, "We should start this clothing brand." I was like, "I don't know what the hell I don't even know what that means. Like, we should just like put logos on a shirt or whatever." And so that was the summer I was going away to play junior hockey, and I went to go.
How old were you?
I was turning 21, and went and played. Didn't work out. Didn't end up getting any college offers. Came back home, and I was like, I really want to start this clothing brand. I like this idea because I loved like Ralph Lauren, Vineyard Vines, all those type of brands, and I was like, I feel like I could do something along those lines. I don't know what. I don't think there was a direct like moment, but when I stopped playing hockey and made that decision and I drove back home, that was one of the ideas in my head. I was like, I really want to do that. I want to start my life. I was playing hockey for like 13 years. So that was like my identity. And then I was like, I really don't think I can make money doing this. I got to start my own thing. And my dad's a home builder, builds homes. My mom's, she used to run all these hair salons. So like they're both creative people. And I just kind of had that bug when I stopped playing that I wanted to do something for myself, and I thought it was going to be in the realm of like architecture. But the deeper I got into like thinking about this brand and building this business, like building clothes is literally architecture. There's blueprints to every single garment that we make, so it kind of all tied together. So that was the idea, is to do something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
When you looked at some of the brands that you whether enjoyed wearing or admired or thought, had a good, style to them, were you like, I like these brands, but I think I could do something different?
Yeah.
Or did you see like an opportunity of like, all right, I'm going to kind of take a little from, Ralph Lauren, take a little from, whatever. Like, was that kind of your style, or were you like, I just figure, I can get into it and I can make a cool brand?
I think early on it was I want to make clothes that I want to wear rather than like figure out what a gap in the. I was 21 years old, so I don't know anything about gaps in markets or gray areas. It was just like I want to do something for me,
Yeah.
and I wanted to make my own thing. I wanted to build my own like life, and I just really got into building clothes. So like I wanted to build these core pieces that I wear every day. And if someone stops me in the street or someone asks me where I got it, I can say probably that I designed it. So that was like the driver is I want to do something for myself. I know people will resonate with it because it's not anything fake or anything like there's no like big marketing company behind it driving it. It's just like me making clothes that I want to wear.
Yeah. And I think that's a great test for any entrepreneur. I'm always flowing ideas of like, oh, this would be a great idea. But then I go, wait, would I use it? Would I
Right.
buy it? And half the time I'm like, probably not. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good idea, but I wouldn't buy it. And it's like, so that's not gonna, you wanna, it's a great way to like, if I would definitely buy this 100%, now, if someone were to hand it to me that I didn't create it and I would buy it right there on the spot, that's a good test that you might be onto something.
Right.
So that's kind of a good way to at least start your initial approach down that road.
Yeah, that was my approach. That still is my approach. I have the opportunity to have so many clothes now from sampling and finding brands that I still like. And it's okay, if I can wear this jacket, how would I want to wear it? Or if there's something I can tweak. So it's just like an ongoing process too of like finding garments and tweaking it to our brand standard. So that's been a crazy challenge. But yeah, I mean, the beginning was I wanted to just make clothes for me and that fit into my lifestyle.
an ongoing process, do you naturally kind of just look at different things, keep up on different brands, get different ideas? Or is that like an actual effort of yours? Like, I need to set aside time to do this.
I don't think I ever said, I think it's like constant, but I don't,
Well, I'm saying, like, do you make a conscious effort of doing it, or do you kind of naturally do it
it's
because you
natural.
like, okay,
Yeah. So like, I don't feel like I work at all. And that's what's nice about this business. It's such like a passion driven business where, there's no like, it just, everything flows for me, you know? And I think that's the coolest part about this. But when it comes to like coming up with different ideas or building different product, it's mostly building off of our current aesthetic, and it's not trend casting or chasing trends and all that. We don't do that. It's pretty much building product that you can wear season after season. And that was like the brand ethos. Like when I started, it's like, I want to just build something that I can wear all the time. You go to the mall and you buy these shirts and they rip apart after a year of wearing it. And I just hate that, you know, because clothes cost money. And when I was younger, I didn't have like a lot of money to like spend on clothes, you know, so I want to buy something that I can wear all the time. So that was the idea.
you had the idea
Yeah,
of what you wanted to do, but that's far away from actually where you are now.
sure.
What was the first step of, other than saying, I want to do this? You know, are you looking at manufacturers? Are you looking at storefronts? You know, what was your first step?
I was super naive in the beginning. I thought
As
that,
most entrepreneurs are.
right. I thought that, let's say we'll use Ralph Lauren as a example. I thought Ralph Lauren owned their factories, meaning they're making garments in the factories that they built. They built this huge factory. They have all these millions of employees that are making clothes for them. And then like the more I dug into it, the more you start to notice, okay, these companies these factories work with these brands. And like, that's how naive I was, that everyone owned their own factory. I want to say I dug into like how to build a garment or how to get into the factory type of business. And I went to New York City. There was all these shows that you can meet factories from overseas or in the US. And I met with all these different vendors and ended up still using the same vendors that I met with back when I was 21. Yeah, I mean, I just went into there, opened the doors. They opened the doors for me. Started meeting with those factories. Like one thing led after another. I ended up making the majority of the first collection in Sri Lanka. And
Did you go there?
I did not go there. I just met the guy that worked there. It's a
Oh,
family
you
run.
came here.
Yeah, it's a family run factory, really small. I still work with him. He still makes our button downs for us. And met with him. Every time he comes to New York, we always meet, try to always meet. And like dipping my toe in the water of that, I could understand more of that type of business. So I started to just research and find more factories. And now we have we have a global supply chain of factories that we work with. So when it comes to fabric, cut and sew factories that cut and sew the garments, trim factories that are buttons, labels, zippers, all that, we all deal with everything. So that took years of building that network. And there's been people that I've stuck with like from the beginning, and there's people that we still, new vendors that we work with now. So it's a process. It's a huge
Is that
part of
an
the
ongoing
business.
process?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all you say. Are
Constant.
you always looking to see, you know, I'm sure at some point manufacturers end up not delivering what you expect.
Yeah.
And, you know, once that stuff happens, everyone's human. But if it's consistent, you got to have number 2 and number 3 lined up, because all of a sudden if they drop off or they're
sure.
not meeting the demand, then you still have people coming in the store. There's still people wanting certain product.
Right.
You got to have someone else lined up.
Yeah. So that's constant too. But we're in a really good position now where the people that we work with, we've been working with for a bit. So it's been good.
Yeah. That's so you found a manufacturer, have an idea what you're doing. Were you like, I'm going to start a storefront, or were you like, I just want to create some clothes first?
I think I always wanted to start a store, but I didn't know really what that meant. And I didn't know where that would be. But I knew if I was going to get the brand across to customers, selling wholesale would only be a fraction of the actual brand. So it was a really nice like thought, which was funny, to like have wholesale, be a driver, so other stores can carry the line and people can come see it, and then have an online business and then have a store. So like that was like the big three for me. And then we opened up our store, had the opportunity to open it up, and everything went into the store, and every energy.
Was that planned out, or that kind of just how it happened?
That's how it happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it happened. You
Yeah.
know, so like the opportunity to open the store happened, and everything just went towards that, towards building the store.
What was the biggest surprise opening a brick and mortar store? Like, was it kind of what you expected, or was it harder? Was it easier?
It seemed like natural to do that, and then maintaining it afterwards, I think, is the hardest. Still is the hardest.
Did you have to like create new clothing and new products to fit a whole brick and mortar store, or did you have enough?
I had product.
Were you selling before you had a storefront?
So I'd split the store in the beginning with my business partner Maria. She had a brand and then I had a brand, and we split this store in half for rent purposes. Literally just like, I can't pay the rent fully yet. And we ended up splitting, all the costs and everything. And we had like, her wall was on the left side, my wall was on the right side. And we did that for like a couple of years. So that like really helped with everything. So that was like the initial like jump. Okay, like we can do it if I can't pay the full rent, And then that snowballed into a year lease. And then that snowballed into moving our store across the street. And then that turned into what the store is now. So there's a big process of doing that. I learned so much. While we opened, I had enough product, and then I had to start building more product, and it was like a faster process. And I have my own deadline on when things should come, and they never usually come. And that still happens. I think that's always going to be a thing. But I had to like build deadlines out for product, or when they can be designed, when they can be sampled, all that stuff. So it was crazy. But that turned the business into an actual business when we opened the store.
Yeah. Did you expect that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Especially,
I knew that
why Skinny Atlas? What brought you there?
Because
especially being from the east side.
That's the only town for retail that makes sense in this area. And then how I got there was a year prior to opening. In the summer, there's this huge sale that happens in the town. And
what's it called?
It's called sidewalk sales.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Or curb stoner. Yeah. I think people call it different names. But I had the opportunity to have a tent outside of the street that we're on currently, which is pretty crazy.
What was in your location at the time? Do you remember?
A boat tour company. So they were there, and I was 2 streets down outside in front of the bakery. So like the bakery is like the main hub in the town. If no one's been out there, you usually congregate there. And so our tent was out front. It was just me. I think my mom went too. And like I had this tent, put like a couple products out. I think I had like 5 products and a ton of hats. And had like a really good weekend. And I'm like, oh my God, I can like set up shop here one day. That'd be cool. And I told the chamber president that set me up, I go, hey, if there's any opportunity for a store down the road, I'd love to open up a store here. She goes, yeah, we'll let you know. Like, it was just kind of like brushing me off. Yeah, get in line, right? And like a year later, I got an email from like the chamber president, like, hey, store's opening up. You said you wanted to be a part of the town. This is your opportunity.
Interesting that you had to go through her. And it wasn't just like a private, like, hey, we have a lease space available. So they have to.
She definitely helped. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have had a store in that town,
Yeah. You don't think any other town in the area would be, or at least for you guys?
For us, we want to build more stores outside of this area. So we're looking at more like coastal towns for that.
Okay.
But no, for what we're trying to build, that's the right town for us.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Renewal by Anderson of Central New York. Spring savings are going on right now, and Upstate Impact listeners can receive $750 off 4 windows or more. Just mention Upstate Impact when you call to take advantage of one of the best promotions they offer all year. If your windows or doors are outdated, drafty, or costing you on energy bills, now is a great time to schedule your free consultation. Call 315-422-3500 today. I got a buddy. He was a Syracuse. I missed him. He came in after me.
Yeah.
But Joe DeMarco, he has something called, or a store called
Saltwater.
Saltwater.
Yeah.
You know. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's got Syracuse ties. But yeah, no, it's a cool store right in Huntington.
Mhm.
We had a wedding there last year, and
He's got a few
checked it out.
stores now.
Does he? Does he
Yeah.
have more? Okay. I
Yeah.
knew he had a bunch of pop-up ones. He's always on the road going to different
Yeah.
places, but I know that's kind of where his main one was, but I didn't realize he had a few. Yeah, great guy. And it sounds like kind of a similar story. I mean, they don't have a ton of product, but everything they have is very well made.
Right.
And, it's obviously, I like the style of it, but it's, he seems to be doing well. So it's kind of similar.
That's the grind. He knows the grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as you said, if it's what you enjoy,
Yeah.
I mean, what is the next step? You have a place in Skaneateles, like what you're saying, coastal town.
Yeah. I mean, so we just
Do you know,
renovated.
or you-
Yeah. We renovated our store in January. So we actually gained more space. So now we have this huge storefront. Right now, I think we want to have more stores. I really like the store model. I think once we opened one, I was ready to open up another one. So we're trying to figure out what the spaces that we're in now in our store, figure out the trends there when it comes to the busyness and the foot traffic. And I'd love to do more stores. I really like that opportunity. Checked out a few spots, coastal towns, and that's kind of like what we're honing in on now.
It seems like in 2026, that's against conventional wisdom, right? It's like, oh, just expanding your online, right? Less footprint, less overhead.
Yeah.
But you're going the opposite way. Obviously, you see the opportunity. You're currently doing it. Why do you think that is? Do you think people just have an itch to go into a store and check it out, try on the shirts or, whatever it is, the hats? Do you think there's something to that, like the experience of it? Or why not just push your online stuff?
You really got to be entrenched in the brand, and online is like a fraction of that, because you can do your best to try to build an online storefront, which we do, and our online's doing really well this year. It's actually crushed like every goal that we've had already, which is awesome. But in a store, you're walking into the brand, you're smelling the brand, you're smelling what it smells like, you're listening to the music, you're being greeted by a sales associate that knows everything about the brand. You're getting directions for a restaurant that you want to go to. So like this whole thing is supposed to be, you're walking into like our world.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get that online. And it took 7 years to hone in on that type of customer service. And there's a book that like changed my life called Unreasonable
Hospitality.
Unreasonable Hospitality.
I'm literally listening to it right now. I was about to say.
Changed my life.
Yeah, that's so
And
funny.
Listening to that, I was like, we can have something like that in a retail setting. And yeah, you're not going to get the experiential part online.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, it's all carefully curated. I imagine. Like you
Right.
said, it took how long to dial that in?
There's so much detail in that store. It's insane.
Yeah.
The level of detail we have is really like up there.
And it's work.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's what it's what people. I think people do crave that experience, right? It's not just shopping clearance online. It's like no, they want to come in, exactly feel, smell the brand. Touch things, like actually see what it's a part of, and then you know what you're buying, right? Especially with someone's able to explain. You're talking about, obviously you're going to know, but where the manufacturer's from, small factory, well made, and I'm sure you have other kind of perks of buying it in the store. But it's something now that it's so easy to do everything online and just like order your Uber Eats to your house, DoorDash. Like you don't have to do anything if you don't want to.
Right.
That's almost made this demand of like, I want to actually have these experiences again. I want to go to the restaurant like an Unreasonable Hospitality and have that great experience.
Yeah.
And then also go into a storefront like yours and have the experience and really pick out the clothes that I really want and try it on, make sure it fits, make sure it's really what I want. And there's just something to that I think people are kind of moving back towards that.
Yeah. For me, that like started when I went to New York City and went into these stores and like saw the way they did a store. I remember like walking into, I forgot the store, but I remember like the store associate, which is funny because I remember going in that store and like the guy was talking to me and I felt comfortable. And I remember that experience over anything else, even what I bought. And I wanted to bring that to like our town or the town that the store's in. That's a living, breathing thing. You learn something new with that every day as well. Hospitality, you know?
How do you get buy-in from the staff, right? I mean, it's one thing to do it once, but every day to kind of bring that, 100%, like really giving everyone that great experience. It's a lot, right?
Mhm.
It's work. And how do you get buy-in so that they're on the same page as you as like, this is the experience we want to deliver and we got to be as consistent as we can be.
A ton of training, a ton of training. Setting the bar high with how we do things, even to the smallest point of how you clean something. Um, and we don't treat our employees like they're just employees. You know, they're they're in the weeds with us. Me and Maria were there almost every day still, so they're in the weeds and they're learning from us too. Really a rare opportunity that you're working at a retail store and you're working with the owners of the retail store still, you know. So we're doing stuff with them and we're not telling them to do things we wouldn't do. So we're really just in the weeds, still teaching everyone. And I don't know what that looks like down the road, but for right now it's worked for us, you know.
It reminds me of a distillery. So I used to live in Austin, Texas, and a distillery called Garrison Brothers, kind of a now much more popular. This is maybe 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
where it was kind of smaller and you could buy it locally in this to kind of Texas, but you didn't really find it much up here. And it was one of my favorite whiskeys. And my wife knew that. So I think for my 30th birthday, she got us a tour. We went with a couple friends. And the woman giving the tour guide, was just going in every detail, right? We were just every step of making the whiskey, and she was so thorough and she knew everything. And I thought for sure she was like a daughter of one of the Garrison brothers or some relation. And I went up to her after and I was like, what's your connection? She's like, oh, I started here a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe this, the passion she was talking. And I'm like, wow, that's something that if you can replicate, I mean, it wowed me and it made me, I still drink it today.
Right.
I mean, because it's great whiskey, but also having that experience, I feel like I've been there. I know how it's made and everything like that. So if you're able to do that with, your staff members, I mean, that's huge.
It's infectious though. If you have the passion for it and they see it, if you're in there every day, like dragging and hating the world and just not in a good mood, I mean, that's going to reflect on everything. So we go in there with a ton of passion and, try to make the store, I guess the goal is try to make the store the best store it can be.
Yeah.
The best store in the town, and then trying to go farther than that,
What do you guys do really well other than the experience side of it? I mean, from a literal clothing standpoint, what do you think your kind of bread and butter is? Or maybe what started getting you popular?
Well, the store is definitely like the flagship thing. So like you want to go and see the store just to have that type of experience. So that's definitely, like you said, one of the things that makes us tick and what makes people want to see us. But as far as if you're talking about just the brand, I think the garment construction is huge, and that's something I don't skip on.
Explain that.
So when you're making something, sometimes you go to a factory and you say you want a white t-shirt and they'll make you a white t-shirt and you get it and you put your logo on it and you put it online and you sell it. In the beginning, for me, I feel like I'm like a chef. It's weird. I'll take a piece of fabric that I'm falling in love with and I'll turn it into a garment that I've had for a really long time because I have a really extensive like archive of vintage pieces. It's mixing these types of fabrics. It's mixing these types of craftsmanship in the production of the garment. It's all these small little details that make this thing the best it can be. And for me, I mean, I can rip these garments apart just because I'm really close with them and I can figure out the flaws. But at the end of the day, we're still making the best product we can make. And we're still like striving to make better product. So that's like one of the motivations for me is to just keep making better product. And it shows. Like our swimwear is probably our number one online. And That fabric is made from recycled fishing nets. The fabric is made in Italy for us by this really small company. It gets shipped to our factory in China that cuts and sews and puts it together. Then it gets shipped to us where we sell online and we sell at our store. So there's a ton of different hands that touch our product before it goes on a hanger or it gets shipped to you. And I think that's like what makes us different is the level of detail in the product.
Yeah, that's an interesting creative process of like, all
Mhm.
right, how is this article of clothing going to be utilized and how can we, get the right formula to be exactly what we want it to be.
Right.
Because something that you're going to wear in the winter is going to be different than something you can wear in the summer. Something that's going to get wet is different than something you want to keep dry. So I imagine that's kind of all the things you're thinking of when creating all these different products.
It's that, and then like where are you wearing it, or where can I imagine our customer wearing it? So when I get into like the deep dive of the creative process, I'm really thinking of like a character and what is this person eating? Where are they drinking? Where are they going to have dinner? What are they driving? What are they listening to? All those things we're trying to hit when we're making something. So we have a vintage collection that sits next to every collection that we design. And that's more of like the home side of like this character. So this person's, buying some clothing and he's also outfitting his office or his house with the stuff that we handpicked. So there's a lot of detail there as well. But the creative process is like the most, I'd say, gratifying thing about this whole business,
Yeah.
because it's stuff that I want to, it's like building a movie. It's stuff that I want to wear and it's stuff that I can see myself doing, going down to either like Newport, Rhode Island with our button down shirt and then going to, California with our swimwear. It's definitely this thing that's a little bit cross country when it comes to design and aesthetic. So, um, that's been the biggest challenge and it's been the most gratifying thing.
Yeah. It's funny you're talking about. I mean, this is so much different than anything I've ever done. However, the fundamentals are kind of similar and a lot of what you talked about, especially too, like even just building like an avatar of who's going to be wearing it, who's the person,
Right.
what are they like, what are they doing. We started a company called Get Reps, a sports technology company that started making smart lacrosse balls that paired to an app. And that was kind of our process. All right, who's using this? Is it a 12-year-old who plays club lacrosse in high school? And it's like you build out who it's going to be, and then you know who it's for, right? It just helps you in that process so much. And as much as the companies are completely different, it's that similar process. So it's like the fundamentals are there, but it's just obviously different.
Yeah. And I don't think I'll ever answer that question. I think it's like an ongoing question too.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. You're never, and because people change.
Right.
I mean, millennials to Gen Z, I mean, everything's always different, right? People are always changing. What's popular changes. I like that you said, you try to stay true to kind of your core values of what you want to do. You're not worried about what's hot right now because that's going to come and go. It's like we just want to make great clothing that's going to be in style today, tomorrow, 5 years from now, whatever.
Yeah. That's the plan. Yep.
Yeah. 9 years into it, 8 years into it right now.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know if you'd have any regrets, but what is something you maybe would have done differently up to this point as you launched? I mean, did you waste time doing anything? Did you kind of?
I don't think I would regret anything. Yeah. I
So
think
if you were to start over, you would probably do the same exact process or very similar.
yeah, I think where we're at is like exactly where we need to be. You learn so much with like the lulls of the business too. So that's something you like can't replicate or fast track. You really got to go through the ups and downs of building something like this. So I don't think I would change anything. Yeah, I just think we're exactly where we need to be.
Do up and downs tend to go off the season? Right. I imagine summer, obviously, you get a lot of people out there, at least at the storefront. Holidays, people are buying gifts. Maybe this is I would guess maybe January to Memorial Day are somewhat slower months. Is that is that how it is? And if it is, do you kind of plan around that of like, all right, we're going to start testing different things in January because I know things will be slower, or
Yeah.
do you kind of build your calendar around
I've
that?
had so many ups and downs. I don't even know. I can't even
What
tell
day-
you.
yeah, what
I
month
can't
is
even
what?
tell you what. Yeah. There's been times where I had to sell off jewelry to make rent. There's been times where, we've had to like really hunker down and wait for product to come and pay for the product. There's been so many different lows, and I don't even think it's seasonal. It's just whenever it wants to hit you. So for me, I think how to navigate through that, and I think that's like it's been my biggest thing is like this is the point where people quit, and this is where they stop. And if I can keep going or move past it, we're gonna get over it. It's just a season. So it depends on how long you want to hold on. And it also depends on if you want to quit or not, you know. So I've had many opportunities where I could just stop this thing and go do something else. And I've just never done it. And I just keep going forward. And eventually it's going to be less of an impact when it comes to the lows. But yeah, there's been no opportunity, or there's been no time where I've wanted to just quit. There's been seasonal, like you said, seasonal lulls, but it just comes with the territory of the business, you know?
You do it long enough, you realize it just kind of comes and goes.
Oh yeah.
You just got to
get
grind it
cows to
out.
it.
Yeah,
I've just
exactly.
been cows to it since I started, you know?
Yeah.
When you open a business, you think everyone wants to hear about your business.
Yeah.
Or when you open up a store, you think everyone's going to want to come see your store. And those are two lessons that I've learned of like, okay, you're here, you got to make it work now, you know?
You ever watch Entourage?
Yeah. Yeah.
I used
That's
to-
one of my favorite shows.
Okay, I used to tell our co-founder, after a while, I'm like, it's literally a season of Entourage. It's
Sure.
like the ups and downs of like, Vince isn't doing the movie.
Yeah.
He's going to do the movie. He's not doing the movie. You know, you watch it
Right.
in concession. That's literally the whole, every season. He's doing
Mhm.
it. He's not doing it. He's doing it. And that's how it is. It's like some days are like, I don't know if this company's going to make it.
Yeah.
And the next day is like, you know, we're going to be millionaires. It's just constantly.
The Bear too. Have you seen The Bear?
No, I heard of it, but I
I
haven't
feel like
watched
the
it.
guy's talking to me at some point. It's so funny. That's a really good show too.
Yeah, that's FX, right? I think I just saw an ad for it.
Yeah.
Talk about, I know inventory can be tough too.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, we have one SKU and it's tough. I have a good buddy, Jack Ambrose, who started Jambies, which is kind of like a loungewear type clothing. And he's like, that's the hardest part of the business, is dealing with the inventory side of it.
Yeah.
Do you have those struggles?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a huge struggle.
Yeah.
How much inventory? Do you have enough? Do you not have enough? If you have a lot of it, what do you do with it? So yeah, that's going to be a forever thing.
I was
That's
just going to say,
you
have
gotta
you
deal with.
figured that out at all? Or
I
not
don't think
really?
anyone's figured out inventory.
No.
I don't even think the major companies figure out what to do with inventory. Because if you go to Marshall's and you see
Yeah,
their
like
stuff,
that.
they've
Yeah.
sold their inventory off, you know? The older the business gets and the more hands-on you are with the business, you kind of understand what to order. But you still, you know, it's always a gamble. So,
Do you have any sort of process, or is it kind of just like you trust in your gut a little bit?
ordering
and
inventory? No, there's like a huge process. There's a huge
Okay, so-
formula with what we do, but it doesn't
Nah.
matter, you know?
Yeah.
So you're building stuff. And for us, like you said, you know, we're building our core product and we're staying true to our core product. And that's been really smart. I think for me, a formula would be expanding our core product and then adding one hero product per season. So something that's new, that's a little bit different. And that's been working well for us. So, because we're still building stuff for people still want to buy our core thing. So we want to expand there and then also offer something that's new for the brand. So that's been something we've been trying for a couple of years now that works. But inventory's tough, you know, dealing with that.
What's the turnover on a specific article of clothing? Like
Oh God, I don't know that
something
answer.
is a, well, I just mean like you have a shirt that's like selling out and
Mhm.
it's like, oh, this is a great shirt for us. Everyone loves it. How long do you keep it? How long do you keep ordering it?
Oh, how long do you keep ordering the same thing?
Yes. Do you change it?
until they don't buy
Hey,
it?
really? Okay, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Is it like a seasonal thing usually,
Yeah.
or is it, hey, we've had the same shirt for 5 years and people still love it?
Well, you become known for it. So for me as a creative person, I like to like wipe the board every collection. Meaning like I want to start brand new every collection. That's how I, you know, are creatively like charged. But when you're thinking as a business, you really have to stick to the things that people want from you. So we have that, We have that core thing. You figure out the trends of how fast it's selling. And if it's not selling fast, then you scale back a little bit on that product, and then you put energy towards something else. So it's a really push and pull puzzle game. It's crazy, but I don't have an answer. I mean, we sell stuff. We sell a really nice garment, and if it doesn't work, we wouldn't do it again. You know, that's the fun part about this business is you can really, when you're in the position to try different things, it's fun. When you're not in a position, you're really just like against the wall, and you're like, I need this to hit, or I need this thing to be working. That's when it gets a little bit tough. But that also is where you can get creative too. I like both. I like going lean all the time. So
When you say wipe clean, do you ever like a popular product that you want to like maybe, all right, we don't want to hold on to it, but it's a good idea. Do you ever just evolve what it was? Like
Yeah.
similar, but like
Yep.
slightly different?
We've done that with a few things. Yeah.
Because I've seen that before. Yeah. And it's like, because like people like the overall theme of it, you know, it's kind of talking in generalities, but we just change a few things about it. And maybe that, you know, can make something that's not as great for you successful. It's like, oh, we just tweak a couple things. There's something there.
Right.
It's like any idea almost.
Yeah. I mean, I've constantly tweaking our current product too. Constantly adding a pocket, adding a zipper, dialing in the fit, changing the fabric, adding or taking away things. So like I constantly do that. That's also what I love doing is like tinkering. So there's been a few things that we've sold that I've taken with me and tweaked and turned into something different. But we're in the business of building collections and building these huge things. So there's a lot that goes into it. You know, I want to keep wiping the slate clean and starting brand new. And that's really hard on everyone. So I don't think I can do that anymore, but
You're in a different state. You're walking into a store.
right.
You pick up an article of clothing. How do you spot quality?
How do I spot quality?
Yeah. Something that maybe a listener could be like, oh, that's something interesting to look for.
The weight of the fabric, if it's like the right weight, if it's heavy.
The right weight being heavy or depending on what it is?
I guess it depends on what it is. I mean, for me, I don't like a cashmere sweater. I've never liked cashmere, and like that's like people love cashmere, and it's too light for me. I like something that has a drape to it or that has some structure to it. So I really like these knits that we make in the U.S. in Fall River, Massachusetts, and those have like a really nice weight to it. So for me, like fabric weight is something huge when it comes to quality. I don't know. I mean, brands can hide their quality before you buy it, and then once you start wearing it is the sign of if it's good or not. So if you can wear something and you can keep in your closet for 5 years and you got something really good, you got it worth your money, you know. That's something we're trying to build.
Yeah, very cool. So tell people real quick. I mean, obviously, you know, your storefronts at Skinny Atlas. You know, you encourage them to come in, but also, you know, you have an online presence, social media, I assume. What's the easiest place to kind of start looking up what you guys are doing?
Our website, cculturebrand.com. Our Instagram is cculturebrand. But yeah, I really want people to come into our store. I want them to see that whole experience. What we didn't touch on is our packaging when it comes to online too. So that was something that I'm really passionate about too, is the same level of experience you get in the store, the unboxing experience that you get online is the same level. So whether you're buying online or whether you're buying in our store, you're going to get the same unboxing experience. So that's been big. That's something that's different for us too, but would love people to come into our store, see it. We just renovated, like I said. So they got an opportunity to see a brand new experience from us.
Very cool. Dan, appreciate your time.
Thank you, man. Thanks for
coming
having
on.
me on. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.